Mexico isn't safe. Beau here, and welcome to my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video. Let's get to it. Mexico isn't safe. Everyone has heard that. I know I had multiple times, and sadly, I started to believe it. However, lucky for you, last month I traveled in Mexico for 3 weeks, and I actually found quite the opposite. Number one, I only felt unsafe once. And it was in the town that everybody said was extremely safe, which was Merida. And this is in no means saying don't travel there, but this kind of just started off my trip to the town a little bit weird. So we took a bus there, and me being me, I'm slightly cautious, especially going to a bigger town. And I decided that I was going to get a cab rather than Uber, because Uber really hadn't worked that great in Mexico, and figured out Merida does have Uber, so use Uber. But we got in the cab. It was a little sketch from the get-go. You know, you just don't have a great feeling about a guy, but I didn't get the feeling until I actually got in the cab, and I was like, whatever. Like, I have data on my phone, I can watch where we're going, and everything was going good till he stopped at a stop sign, and I saw him do this. Not like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, it was just like casually, he had his arm sitting on his window, and he did this. Like, just flashed it. And he did it 2 or 3 times. And in my mind, I was thinking, what is going on here? Like, is he saying there's 2 people in the car? Is he about to pull into a parking garage? Like, I'm not going to say that I had a weapon on me, but, I mean, I grabbed my phone out, I typed Catherine a message on notes, handed her my phone, and I was like, hey, I just saw this guy make a symbol, make a signal. If things go bad, bail out of the car, leave your stuff, we'll solve it. Just so you know, if you need to get out, we need to get out. And so I just wanted to make sure that she knew what was going on. So that was the only time that I felt unsafe the whole trip. However, nothing happened. I'm still curious on what that symbol was. Like peace, like what's up, dude? But he had his arm sitting on the rest doing this. I'm still beyond bumfuzzled what that was. But just for future references, if Uber's available or a rideshare, I would highly suggest that rather than a cab, because I did hear a couple of horror stories about cabs, but I mean, you hear those all over the world, especially in Bangkok, and I've done cabs all over Bangkok, never had any issues. Number 2, the rest of the time, I felt completely safe. I mean, actually one of the safest I've ever been in a country. I felt like extremely safe in Mexico. Of course, there was a couple times that I'm like, this is a little sketchier. Once I did something, I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. But that's what travel is, trial and error. Travel brings you out of your comfort zone, so you're going to have some of those feelings. But yeah, overall, extremely safe. Number 3, was I being cautious? Actually, in Mexico, I pretty much loosened up my rules. There were some times that we were walking back from the bar after dark, there'd only be 2 of us. And then in the morning, some mornings I would wake up so early before daybreak, and I would go walking around town, or it was complete dark with my headphones in, listening to my podcast or exercising or something like that. And also, most of the time, I'm carrying around a camera bag. I may have a camera slung over my shoulder. I may be vlogging on a camera, talking to a camera, having my cell phone out, doing something on Instagram. So really, if there's a target, I am a target. However, I still did take some precautions. There was a couple times we were actually invited to a local's house, and I decided against it. It wasn't that I did not trust the local that was offering up his place for us to hang out at, come have a beer. It was more or less that it was just against my travel rules. Number 1, we had already been drinking beer, and it was late normally whenever we got invited to these things. And number 2, we would have to take a taxi to their place, and I'm not familiar enough with the cities that we were in to be able to be like, okay, I have an exit strategy. So that was the reason why I did not go. Number 4, my rating. From a scale from 1 to 10, I would probably rank Mexico an 8. Like, the only time I really felt unsafe was with that weird cab driver that was throwing I don't know if it was gang symbols or what, but yeah, that was the only time I felt unsafe, and that still didn't end up being in an unsafe situation. It could have just been my anxiety, or maybe I was just being overcautious, which is perfectly fine as well. I would call Mexico very safe, especially the area that we were in. We were all over the Yucatan Peninsula, and I mean, at one point we were 9 hours away from Cancun, is where I flew in and out of, but I'd taken a bus 9 hours from Cancun. And also, I didn't stay in any resorts whatsoever. I stayed in a couple hotels. They were cheap, reasonable hotels. I think the most I paid per night was $30. And the rest of the time I stayed in hostels, anywhere from, I think, $12 a night all the way up to $25 a night for a hostel. $25 is a lot, but it was like yeah, if you watch the rest of my videos, you'll figure it out. But hey, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Beau out.
All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you.